It'll be Jeter, Damon, and Teixeira. And here we go. The first pitch of tonight's ball game is a little bit outside, 1-0. Jeter has hit safely in 8 straight, including the first 2 in this series. And he's had a solid .294 this year. Here's the bouncing ball hit toward third. Inge will charge. Off balance throw is in time, and Jeter is out of there.
Nice little 2-step down there by Cabrera, who continues to get better at that first base position. Inge got rid of it in plenty enough time, even if Cabrera need to make some adjustments down there. That's why as a third baseman you get rid of it quickly. Throws off balance. Cabrera jumps off the bag and catches it with his right big toe.
1 up, 1 away. Here's Johnny Damon. Strike 1 from Porcello. Damon at .286. Has an RBI, just 1 for 9 in the series.
That's one of the things that Laird wants to do with Porcello early in this game. And that's throw more breaking balls, throw a few more changeup. That was an outstanding breaking ball there by Porcello.
The Yankees offense, although they exploded for 10 in 1 inning last night, has not been terribly consistent in this series, to be sure. The 1-2 is slap foul.
You stick around the game of baseball and you'll see things on a nightly basis that you've never seen before. Last night, Jackson and Phil Hughes both did not give up a run through 6 innings, and the Tigers ended up losing the game 11-0.
It was bizarre. There's no question about that. 0-0 going into the 7th. And there's Hughes, who Jim Leland was praising before the game. He said he looked a whole lot better last night than the first time they saw him last year.
He was lights out, commanding all 3 of his pitches.
Little chopper hit slowly right side. Going to be a tough play. Porcello better get there, and safe at first base. That was dangerous looking. Porcello tried to swing around the bag, and it looked like he slipped a little bit.
With Damon's speed, it was going to be a tough play no matter what. A little bit of indecisiveness by Porcello. He first went for the ball, as you can see, and then he made a beeline for the bag. But really what you have to do as a pitcher is you have to make a beeline for the bag right away, and then that allows Cabrera to give you the ball. And now he almost twisted his ankle there.
That just did not look good. Infield hit for Johnny Damon. That'll bring up Mark Teixeira, who has not been much of a factor in this series. 1 for 8 with a walk. And strike 1 from Porcello.
He has gone strike 1 on 2 of the 3 hitters is that he has seen in this game, and the batting average goes down drastically when you get ahead versus falling behind. 1-0.
With that good hard sinker that Porcello has, if he's getting his ground balls, and tonight might be one of those nights, it could be a good night for him.
Well, he's got a good defenders behind him. And Santiago is short. Of course, Inge does not miss a whole lot at third. Polanco very good at turning the double play. We could see some double plays tonight.
1-1 on Teixeira. There's a ground ball. Diving stop at first by Cabrera. Tags the bag for the out. That's his only play, but he saved a double. Boy, what a play by Cabrera.
Well, we talked about his footwork on that play from Inge. When you have a runner on first base and a left-hander up, you got to bounce off of there quickly, as he does. And by bouncing off of there quickly and still staying on the balls of your feet allows you to move laterally to the right or the left. That time he had to move to the left, and he was able to knock that ball down. It's a very good play by Cabrera. But, Mario, they continue to work with him every single day. Gene Lamont, Leland, Rafael Belliard, they are out there continuously with Cabrera working on the finer points of playing that first base position.
Well, Leland continues to say he can be a great first baseman if he wants to be. He has to put the work in, and so far he has. For a guy his size, that was a fairly nimble play down there. Here's Matsui now with 2 outs.
Not quite sure the date, but it was probably right around this time last year where they were considering moving him to first base and eventually moved him over there in a year. He's made huge strides at that first base position.
Matsui, 8-game hitting streak. The hook misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's a good hitter. He was a great hitter in Japan for 10 years. Hit 50 home runs before he came stateside. And he's continued to hit for average here in the United States, although the power has gone down.
I was going to say, over in Japan, his home run numbers were little bit higher than they have been here. I mean, he was routinely hitting 40+ in Japan.
I guess that's how he got that nickname, Godzilla.
With good reason. Hit 50 his final year in Japan. Had some knee surgery last year. The 2-1. 3 balls, 1 strike to Matsui. Meanwhile, on deck is Robinson Cano.
He's hot right now.
Let's see what Matsui gets on 3-1. Ball 4. He missed with a fastball. That'll put 2 aboard. So he's going to have to deal with Cano. And early on here, Porcello, who likes to pound the strike zone, has thrown more balls than strikes.
He'll have to get better. There's no doubt about that, or he won't be around very long. And the Yankees, they kind of come out and tailor their game plan according to how you're doing on any given night. For example, Jackson last night, they were very aggressive early in the game, swinging at lots of first pitches because Jackson's been so good in that regard. And so Porcello will have to continue to attack the strike zone as well.
The Yankees are one of those teams that really are a nightmare to match up against. As Cano looks at a strike. They have 5 switch hitters in their lineup tonight. And Jeter really is the only true right-handed batter. They have 4 in a row at the bottom of their lineup. Switch hitters. So they can be tough when you try and match up your bullpen against them late in the game. Early scoring chance here in the first inning. 2 on, 2 out. Here's a ground ball hit to the right side. Another sprawling play by Cabrera, and Porcello covers for the out.
Look at Cabby flashing the glove here in the first inning.
What a play by the big man. Check this out. Granderson leading it off in center field. Placido Polanco is at second base. Maglio Ordonez in right. Cabrera cleaning up at first base. Guillen is your DH. Laird is the catcher. Bottom 3 includes Inge, Anderson, and Santiago tonight. By the way, the Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on Joba Chamberlain. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
Well, not necessarily the same Joba Chamberlain that we saw a couple of years ago when he was pitching out of the bullpen for the Yankees. He was throwing 98, 99. They tell us now velocity anywhere from 93, 94. Doesn't get much above that. They're also wondering whether he will go back into the bullpen or not. Joe Girardi, their manager, has said that Joba Chamberlain is going to be in our rotation, but many keep asking the question. He's better out of the bullpen.
Well, it's the same thing the Tigers had to deal with Joel Zumaya. He was a starter in the minor leagues. Is he more valuable at the back end of your bullpen or in the rotation?
Well, Brian Bruni was setting up for Mariano Rivera, but he is now on the disabled list, and they've had a tough time getting the ball to Mariano, and there's some that believe that Joba is better suited for that role as a setup man.
Curtis Granderson leads it off. He sits safely in 9 of his last 12, and he looks at a strike from Chamberlain at 93 miles an hour. Joba's a big fellow, 6'2", 230 out of Lincoln, Nebraska. And he pours a fastball inside that missed.
Nice little cutter. Some late life on that 93-mile-per-hour fastball from Chamberlain.
Granderson in the series 1 for 7.
And Joba has walked quite a few already this year. 10 in just a limited amount of starts. And so apparently he is nibbling in the strike zone.
Nibbled again and missed, 3-1.
And Granderson should get a really good fastball to hit right here.
He does, and sends it high in the air to center. Melky Cabrera cruising under it.
And the rest of the Yankee defense, Damon in left, Swisher in right. The infield reads Pena, Jeter, Cano, Teixeira. You know that Joba's on the mound, and Jorge Posada is back behind the plate. Apparently that hamstring that's been a little tender the last couple of days is good enough for Jorge Posada to catch the final game of this series.
And here is Placido Polanco. 3 hits in the series, 3 for 8. Finally now has hit safely in 9 of his last 10 games. Perhaps better than anyone on this team. He can really grind out at bats, make a pitcher work. Chops this one slowly toward third. Not that time though. Pena will shoot him down. 2 gone. A couple of quick outs for Joba Chamberlain. And that's going to bring up Maglio.
That's one thing about Joba Chamberlain. You look at some of his numbers, and the first time through the batting order for the opposition, the numbers are very low, but they continue to get better the more that they get a chance to see him.
Ordonez 1 for 6 in the series, batting .250. Maglio coming in lifetime against Yankees pitching .314. Been pretty good against the Pinstripers. And he hammers this one in the air deep into right field. Swisher going back has room, and he'll make the catch in front of the warning track. 1-2-3 first inning for Chamberlain. No score as we go to the second.
Cabrera showing the first inning One of the things that they're working on him with is the footwork. Don't anticipate every throw is going to be a good throw. Be in a position that you can shift your feet. He was that way. Good athletic position. Bullet by Teixeira, tried to get down the line. He was able to knock it down and make the play. The last play was a dazzling play to his right, throwing from his bottom to Porcello, who did a nice job covering the bag. Nice defensive work in the first inning by Cabrera.
And that kept the Yankees off the board as they come to the plate now here in the second. It'll be Jorge Posada to lead things off. Posada, Swisher, and Melky Cabrera facing Porcello. Sinker drops in for a strike, 1-1. Lifted toward left, slicing though. 1-2. Well, it's been a long and prosperous career for Jorge Posada. 10 consecutive opening day starts as the catcher for the New York Yankees.
You know, you were talking about the natural left-handers that the Yankees have in their starting lineup to go along with all the switch hitters that they also have. It's going to be very important for Porcello to throw his changeup as he did right there. And with the changeup, you don't necessarily have to throw it for a strike. But there has to be some deception there. It has to be the same arm speed, same arm slot as your fastball, just to get hitters out in front. Maybe you can get yourself some pop-ups and ground balls, but he must use it.
That is rolled foul. He banged that one off his foot all the way down to first base.
Porcello gave up a couple of home runs very early in his last start in Kansas City. Tien got him, and also Callaspo hit a 2-run home run off of him. And he said after the game that he didn't make adjustments soon enough. He said they were aggressive on my fastball. I should have thrown more breaking balls and changeups early in the game. He made the adjustment and stayed around a while.
Yeah, and once he did, he retired 10 straight after that second home run that he gave up. Only 20 years old, Rick Porcello. He is from New Jersey, so taking on the Yankees here tonight, something special for him. 2-2 pitch.
He said he grew up a New York Mets fan.
Did he?
So he didn't see that it would be a huge deal for him going up against the Yankees today.
There is ball 4.
He also went on to say that his dad was a Yankees fan and his mom is a huge Derek Jeter fan. But I'm sure mom and dad are rooting for the Tigers tonight, as they do every night now that their son is wearing Tiger whites.
Here is Nick Swisher. Swisher hitting an even 300. He's had a pretty good series. He homered in the ball game last night, 3 for 7. Porcello starts him off with a strike.
Yankees hitters are not afraid to take a strike. Not afraid at all.
They're playing behind Posada at first base. Left-handed batter, and Posada not much speed. 1-1 on Swisher.
A couple of nights ago, the Yankees' first 7 hitters took the first pitch from Justin Verlander and all fell behind. No balls and 1 strike. One of the reasons why Verlander was able to carve him up. He had special stuff that night too.
Porcello this year with 3 starts on the road. His best would be his first big league victory that he picked up on the last road trip in Seattle, right at the beginning of that trip. An 8-2 win over the Mariners. He went 7 strong in that game. He got the pie in the face afterwards. Runner going, and it's popped up. Left side of the infield. Inge is calling everybody off.
Kind of surprised Jorge Posada was running on that 1-2 pitch with a bad hamstring, but Girardi, I guess, trying to stay out of a double play.
Here is Melky Cabrera. Porcello gets himself a ground ball here and get out of this inning. Cabrera's had nice numbers against the Tigers in his career. 305 against Detroit. He's had a pretty good series. Ball 1. Cabrera has hit safely in his last 3. Playing out in center field. Boy, the Yankees for so many years had one of the great center fielders in Bernie Williams, who was a guy that was beloved in New York. Of course, they've had a lot of great center fielders in their long history.
He never really got all the credit that he deserved because there was always a Clemens or a Jeter or some other superstar that was always taking the headlines. But he was a tremendous player for them for a number of years.
And an accomplished musician as well. 2-1 on Melky Cabrera. Bouncing ball hit to the right side slowly. Cabrera, nice play, throws to second. They'll get one there, and that's it. Fielder's choice. Cabrera hit it to Cabrera. 2 gone. That'll bring up Ramiro Pena, the number 9 hitter. Pena, a couple of hits in the series. They are still awaiting the arrival of Alex Rodriguez and making do without his bat in the meantime. A couple of weeks away, perhaps, from getting A-Rod back in their lineup.
Alex Rodriguez swung a bat yesterday for the very first time. Reported no pain. They say May 15th today, but he'll be back before that.
So Pena, who spent the last couple of years at AA playing third base for Joe Girardi.
He's a good defender. He's shortstop by trade, but he's done okay over at third base.
Yeah, they ranked him as the best defender in the Eastern League last year. Skies this one in the air to shallow left. Josh Anderson coming in. And that is that for the Yankees. They get a leadoff walk. Strand a man. Will go to the bottom of the second. So far, so good for Rick Porcello. Ball game manager Jim Leland knows this New York Yankees team and organization is a special one, and he talks about what makes them so good.
They're very professional. They go about it right. They had an air about them. I told our team, just watch them. When you watch them take the field, there's something different about them. It doesn't mean they're better than everybody else, but there is something different about them. There's just something there, and I thought that's what we had to get to. And I don't know if that's helped or not. I doubt it. But at the same time, it's just another outstanding Major League Baseball team that we compete pretty good against.
Yeah, and especially in this ballpark, all time at Comerica Park, the Tigers are .500 against the Yankees, 19-19. Cabrera hits a rocket down to short off the glove of Derek Jeter, and the Tigers will get the leadoff man on. Jeter tried to play that thing off to his right.
It's a tough play for Jeter. It's a ball that you really can't get in front of because it's hit like a missile off the bat of Cabrera, so you're hoping you get a nice hop, which would allow you to make the play, but the ball stayed down on Derek, and it tricked off the top of his glove and into shallow left field.
Tigers have their first hit. Single for Cabrera. It's going to bring up Carlos Guillen, who once again is the designated hitter tonight for the Tigers. That Achilles injury continues to hobble Guillen, and because of that he's had DH. Leland said tonight that he hopes to get Guillen in left field for Friday's game.
You know, back to that soundbite where Leland was talking about the Yankees and how they carry themselves, and how he felt like for his team to take the next step, that's where they needed to get to. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was Leland's first year as a manager. The Yankees were in spring training, and the way they walked on the field, Leland started talking to his ball club after that game and talking to them about that very fact. Says, you guys need more confidence. You guys have a good team, but you've got to believe in yourselves the way that they believe in the way they play the game. And we all know the end of the story. Tigers went to the World Series in '06.
Well, there is a swagger there of some sorts for the Yankees, and there is an aura, as the skipper said. And all you have to do is watch how well they travel around the country, all the Yankees fans that show up at all the visiting ballparks. And even when we go there, it's just a different feel when you walk into Yankee Stadium.
There's no debate about that. I mean, there's Yogi Berra, who's always hanging around, or Reggie Jackson, or some former Yankee.
Of course, they picked up a couple of big guns this offseason, into Teixeira and Sabathia. Guillen hits a rocket to left field, sinking and caught by Johnny Damon.
That's a good play by Damon. One of your tougher plays for a left fielder. You don't know if that ball is going to have some top spin, which would allow it to fall at your feet, or if it's got enough carry to carry all the way to you. But he got a really good jump on that ball and was able to make a nice play. Carlos Guillen continues to hit in some tough luck. The batting average is not near where Carlos would like to see it. It's at .211, but he has hit some balls right on the screws. He did in Kansas City, and that ball right there was hit like a bullet as well. Sooner or later, your luck will turn.
Here's Gerald Laird. Laird 0 for 7 in this series, and the average now is dipped below 300 at .296. 5 RBIs this year for Laird.
Well, Joba Chamberlain in his last start was able to induce 4 double play balls against the Boston Red Sox. Pitched 5 in the third innings, gave up 9 hits. He walked 4. There was lots of base runners, but he was able to maneuver himself out of jams because he got so many ground balls.
Boy, 1 or 2 comes in handy, but 4 in a single game.
4 in a game.
Pitched at Nebraska, led the Cornhuskers to the College World Series back in 2005. Missed it high, 2-1. Of course, he needed those double plays with all the base on balls he had, and he's walked quite a few in his first couple of starts this year.
He's been pitching away from contact. Does not show the same kind of emotion pitching as a starter as he did when coming in the 8th inning. And Joba used to be one of those guys that would pump his fist when he punched you out. Not showing none of that emotion as a starter.
Runner goes on 2-1. They started Cabrera, and Laird is swinging away.
And Jim has not been afraid to do that this year with this Tigers team. Although this is not a likely hit and run combination. But it's not the first time that we've seen Cabrera take off. As a matter of fact, there was a hit and run a couple of days ago with Guillen and also Cabrera.
Yeah, he said he did that for Guillen to open up the hole, try and get him going, and maybe get him a base hit, get him started.
Cabrera's even stolen a base this year,
which equals his total of all of last year. 2-2 on Gerald Laird. You know, you were talking about the difference between Chamberlain as a starter and reliever, and Leland touched on that before the game. When he was coming out of the pen, he was snorting, he was running in, he was throwing 100 miles an hour. It was just a totally different demeanor.
Look at the numbers, too. Opponent's batting average as a reliever at 185. Lots of strikeouts. There are some that say that he's trying to pace himself to get through the game.
Well, that stands to reason. Oh, he almost picked him off. Cabrera just got back.
Quick move by Joba. One little stutter step by Cabrera, and he kind of took his time getting back, and they almost got him.
Three and 2 on Gerald Laird. Let's see if they start the runner again.
Might as well.
And there he goes. Fouled off.
That's why you're good pitchers. Even though there's a guy like Cabrera standing on first base, and you know that he's not going to steal, and he doesn't have a lot of speed, they will still throw over there to try to pick you off, because a lot of times they can catch you sleeping over there. You're a big guy. You're thinking he's not going to throw over here. Next thing you know, that pitcher's giving you a great move, and you get picked off.
Inge waiting his turn on deck. Runner going again on 3-2. It's a strike call. The throw down to second is going to be in plenty of time. That's the downside of starting a runner. Strike him out, throw him out. Tigers are done in the second. Back to the hill, each team with a hit, and neither team has scored yet. Rick Porcello is still tuning up on the hill. Back in 2006, he was part of the Aflac All-American game, and this is what he looked like in high school.
He looked like a man amongst boys. Look at this breaking ball he's featuring. Change up. Look at this last curveball. It's not fair.
He's taken his act to the big leagues after just a short season in the minor leagues. And ready to go now as we head to the third. Jeter, Damon, and Teixeira, the top of the order for the New York Yankees. They've had a threat going in each of the first two innings. Put two men on in the first. Jeter looks at a strike. Jeter was drafted in 1992. He was the 6th overall pick in the first round. The 0-1. The hook misses inside. I looked up the 5 guys that were picked ahead of him. A few of them played in the big leagues. Phil Nevin was #1 overall that year. Paul Shuey and Jeffrey Hammonds, they got to the big leagues. Swing and a miss.
They were good players too.
Yeah, sure were. None have had the career that Jeter has had.
Weren't great players, but they were good players. It was a dream come true for Jeter in '92, being drafted by the Yankees. That's the team he grew up idolizing.
Here's the 1-2. Got him. Strike 3. See you later, Jeter. And there's a strikeout for Porcello.
What a fastball by the youngster. Away from your arm side on the black outside at 94 miles an hour. Unhittable pitch. That was a 4-seam fastball there. That wasn't his little 2-seam fastball that he gets a lot of movement with. That's exactly what he wanted to do with that one.
Strike 1 on Johnny Damon.
They've pitched Jeter tough in this series. They've gone inside with good fastballs, away from good fastballs. But that's how you have to pitch great players. You have to continue to change your game plan.
Damon had an infield hit back in the first. Pop that one up. Shallow center. Granderson is there.
Hey fans, this Saturday the Tigers will be featured on Fox Saturday Baseball as Miguel Cabrera leads Detroit against Grady Sizemore and the Indians in a showdown between Central Division rivals. Coverage begins at a special time of 3:30 right after This Week in Baseball on your Fox local station.
Here is Mark Teixeira with 2 outs. He pulls this one to right field, straight at Maglio, and that is that for the Yankees. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Porcello. Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the 3rd. Back here at Comerica Park, we go to the bottom of the 3rd in a scoreless ball game. Brandon Inge leads it off against Joba Chamberlain. It'll be Inge, Anderson, and Santiago. Tigers got a single to start off the 2nd, but nothing came of that. Chamberlain delivers a breaking ball low. 2-0 on Brandon Inge.
Back-to-back breaking balls from Chamberlain to Inge. But now ends in a predictable fastball count should he get that pitch.
There it is, and he threw it by him.
Jorge Posada is a very good receiver. Before that pitch was thrown, he put down a sign and he told Joba to shake his head. He motioned, shake your head to shake the pitch off. And if you're Brandon, you know you're going to get a fastball, but just by him shaking off once, put that seed of doubt in your mind, and he threw that 2-0 fastball right by him.
Did he go? He did not.
That's one of the things that Posada does a lot of, especially once he gets ahead of you with his pitcher out there. He will stand up to take fastballs. You will not get a good pitch to hit if you fall behind the pitcher when he's behind the plate.
And there's ball 4, so Brandon reaches for the 21st consecutive game. And by the way, this game is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD. It's sponsored by Comcast. First walk for Chamberlain. Now Josh Anderson steps in with his .351 average. Back up the middle and over the head of the shortstop Jeter into center field. A looping base hit for Josh Anderson. 2 on for the Tigers, nobody out.
Not the easiest pitch to get to. It's a fastball up in the strike zone. It crowds Anderson. It jams him, as a matter of fact. He's able to fight it off and muscle it over a jumping Derek Jeter.
Question now is, does Santiago bunt? Early in the game, we're in the 3rd, 2 men on.
It wouldn't be a bad play to do so. You got Granderson in the on-deck circle. Santiago can handle the bat.
He's showing it, and he lays one down. Chamberlain will have to make the play. And he does. Santiago sacrifices. And that will set up Granderson. Nicely done.
Very fundamentally sound is Santiago. You can see him bending the knees, watching the baseball, make contact with the bat. And with really one job, and that's to get the ball down the third baseline to make the third baseman field it or make Joba Chamberlain field it.
The Tigers are 2nd in the American League now with 9 sacrifice hits.
Who would have thunk that?
Not me. But I think it's part of the what we talked about. The bottom of that lineup does it a little bit differently with Anderson now and Santiago and Everett.
Well, there's a sense of urgency as far as Jim Leyland's concerned, the way that he's managing. He's managing more aggressively this year than he has the previous 3 years as a Tigers manager. And I guess one reason for that is the way that his team is kind of shaped up. He's got some speed, he's got some bat handlers, he's got some power. And right now, all Granderson needs is the ground ball to second or short to drive in the first run of the game. No need to get greedy here.
That missed high. 3-0. Tigers last year had 30 sacrifices the entire season. This is setting up to be a potentially good inning here for Detroit. Polanco waiting on deck. He's taking ball 4. Bases are loaded. 2nd walk in the inning for Joba Chamberlain. And now some trouble brewing for the big right-hander. Polanco will step in.
You know, we were talking about Polanco before the game. As a matter of fact, we talked about him in our open and just how underrated he is as a player. Already 10 doubles in 2009, which is 1st in the majors. Tied.
Ball 1. Chamberlain has been around the plate. He just is not throwing strikes.
Well, he's nibbling, and that's part of his problem. And that's why he will be at 100 pitches when he gets to the 5th inning.
Ryan Runge is calling balls and strikes tonight. Placido bounced out back in the 1st. Line back up the middle into center field and caught by Cabrera. Inge will tag and he will score. It's a line drive, sacrifice fly, and an RBI for Polanco.
I was kind of surprised Cabrera did not throw that ball home. He has a tremendous throwing arm from center field. And that ball was hit rather shallow because he was playing Polanco shallow. And we do know Polanco in those situations with a runner on third and less than 2 outs, for the most part, gets the job done all the time.
I think Inge was surprised as well. He was running hard. He came in sliding at home plate with no play.
It's good base running by Inge. He took a couple of steps down the line, then he, in a hurry, got back to the bag to tag up to come home.
Here's Ordonez with 2 outs.
See, this is that one element of the game that Anderson brings. All of a sudden he gets on second base, and he probably is not going to steal with Maglio. Tremendous RBI man standing in the batter's box with 2 outs. He may, but I don't think so. But all of a sudden, now Chamberlain is preoccupied with Anderson, and that's when you start to make mistakes to a good hitter.
Ryan Knight said he held up. Maglio fly to right field. He had a bullet out there back in the 1st inning, deep to Nick Swisher.
He's starting to figure out some things. First 17 hits, all singles for Maglio, but a couple home runs since then. He's taken a lot of early extra batting practice to figure out his swing.
Two 2-0. Time called now, and Chamberlain's going to get a visit. Ordonez with 2 outs trying to extend the lead here. The Tigers take the lead in a sac fly by Polanco. While they talk it over, we remind you now you can follow Fox Sports Detroit on Twitter and become our fan on Facebook. It's easy and free. Simply search Fox Sports Detroit on either site and become part of the social network community. It's Fox Sports Detroit, available on Twitter and Facebook.
Chamberlain has thrown 15 pitches this inning. 11 have missed the strike zone.
Well, there you have it. He spins towards second, so apparently Anderson is at least taking some of his attention.
And if you're Anderson, if you do decide to steal, you better make it. Or you better run right up that tunnel, into the clubhouse, to your car, and keep a stepping.
To your car. Here's the 2-0. Inside, 3 balls, no strikes.
With Maglio on the batter's box, you better make it. Well, Joba pretty much pitching like the scouting report that we got on him this year. Throwing light to pitches, pitching away from lots of contact, not really attacking the strike zone at all.
Maglio's going to take on 3-0, and that missed. Again, he's around the strike zone, but just off the plate.
You know the biggest difference with that, Mario? If you're a pitcher out there and you're showing the umpire that you've got some pretty good command, he may give you a borderline pitcher too, but because Joba's throwing so few strikes, he'll be lucky to get some of those close calls.
Well, here are the career numbers with the bases loaded for Cabrera. He had a grand slam on opening day here in Detroit.
He loves to swing at the first pitch too.
And he fouls it straight back.
Got a nice little cookie breaking ball at the top of the strike zone.
Cabrera has singled in his first at bat in each game in this series, but has not had a hit in any of his other at bats. He's got the bases full here with Anderson at third base. Grandy down at second. And Maglio at first. The 0-1. Fastball. And it's fouled away, 0-2. So Cabrera behind in the count. Knapp and Porcello having a little conversation. Rick has thrown 3 shutout innings so far against the Yankees and only 1 hit allowed. Chamberlain's 0-2.
Well, here's where Posada, on occasion, will simply stand up. He'll ask for the fastball, maybe, and simply stand up because he wants it high.
Oh, he thought about it. 2-2. Cabrera climbing back into the count now.
Miguel Cabrera hitting .444 in his career with the bases loaded. .444.
Let's see, we bump that up.
Might as well. Tigers have been good as a team this year with the sacks full.
Swing and a miss. Nasty, down he goes. Second strikeout, leaves the bases loaded.
Didn't take a great route to the bag here. Damon is safe. There was another play in that inning, however, he took a pretty good route. Nice play by Cabrera getting there. And since then, he's kind of settled in and did a pretty nice job. He's got him popping up. He's got him grounding out. He's got him hitting, pitching to contact. So he's throwing a lot of strikes so far here tonight.
And he has himself a 1-0 lead. Tigers are on 2 hits. Here come the Yankees now. Hideki Matsui leads it off and looks at a strike from Porcello.
How about that?
Tiger starters, 19 straight scoreless innings.
Those are 3 pretty good starters, too. And the one on the mound is not too shabby. Porcello is now 9 of 13 in first pitch strikes, which is exactly how you have to pitch to the Yankees. You have to get ahead of them, or they will drive your pitch count up. I think the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox are 2 of your more patient teams that like to take lots of pitches, teams that are not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
There's the key, I suppose. I mean, if you're going to have that philosophy, you better have some guys that are confident behind the count.
Guys that foul off lots of pitches as well. That confrontation between Jackson and Cano last night was classic.
Well, he got ahead of Matsui, but ends up walking it. Here's the Aflac trivia question. What does a Duck have tonight? Can you name the 5 Yankees with 10 or more seasons with a 300 or better average? There's Mr. Jeter. He's probably on that list.
Yes, he would be on that list.
Okay, name the other 4 then.
I could probably get at least 2 or 3 of them.
Okay, don't get in the way though. I know you could, but there are 5. So we'll think about that. Meanwhile, the tying run is on, and here is Robinson Cano. Showing bunt, strike 1.
One of the reasons why Edwin Jackson was not able to go out in the 7th inning last night after pitching 6 scoreless is that in 2 at-bats, one in the 4th and one in the 6th, 24 pitches to Robinson Cano alone. 2 at-bats. That's an inning.
That's amazing. Ground ball, foul.
And Jackson said before the game today he wasn't going to give in to him. He was throwing him from the shoe tops to the net. And Cano just fouled off everything. That's the difference in him pitching 6 or 7 innings.
No balls, 2 strikes, and Robinson Cano. We were in the Yankee locker room before the game, and they had the Mark Fidrich game on, the Monday night game against the Yankees. We're watching a little bit of that, especially late in the game, and it was amazing. The Bird was retiring guys with 2 or 3 pitches tops. It seemed like every batter, strike 1, strike 2, and then he'd get a ground ball out.
He had good stuff in that game. I didn't know Bird threw 93 miles an hour with a real good bender.
But the thing is that he just didn't throw a lot of pitches. I mean, it was amazing how if he threw 5 or 6 pitches to a certain hitter, it was a long at bat. And going back to Cano's at bats last night, those were incredible. But the Bird did have some great stuff, as does this young man here, Porcello. Only 1 hit allowed so far, and that was an infield single to Johnny Damon back in the 1st.
You got a real good idea of just how much movement that 2-seam fastball has of Porcello. By the way, that Laird caught that last pitch. He had to jab at it. He stabbed it like he had a fork in his hand.
Drilled to right field, right at Maglio.
Every time that boy swings the bat, he is hitting a bullet somewhere.
Second time he's done it tonight. It was the play by Cabrera that took a hit away from him back in the 1st.
He's like Brandon Inge, locked in.
1 out, and here is Posada. Jorge Posada, a 5-time All-Star for the New York Yankees. Season-ending shoulder surgery last year in July. Takes low again, 2-0, and now Gerald Laird doesn't like something, so he's going to trot out to the mound.
Jorge Posada, a good double play candidate. Not running well these days.
Here's your pitch count on Porcello. And there's a strike, 2-1. We were talking earlier about how maybe Bernie Williams was a little bit underappreciated for the Yankees with all the stars they had around him. Posada might fit into that same mold as well when you consider that only Bill Dickey And Yogi Berra caught more games in a Yankees uniform than Posada. I mean, that's some heavy company there. Year in and year out. He's had great seasons. 2-2.
He's been a good hitter as well. He and Jeter and Mariano Rivera have spent 15 years together. They've had a lot of success.
Porcello would love a ground ball here. It would get him a double play. Posada does not run well. And he missed inside. 3-2.
Girardi has shown in this series that he's not afraid to start the runner in a 3-2 count. Even though we know if Porcello strikes Posada out, Hideki will get thrown out as well.
There's a base hit into right with a runner going. Matsui will go all the way to third, and the Yankees threatening now with a walk and a single here in the 4th inning. Posada aboard for the 2nd time tonight.
That's why you want to stay away from those 3-2 counts when the runner has a chance to take off. And there's still a big hole over on the right side. Posada is able to find it, and then you see Hideki. He knows exactly where the baseball is, and he knows there's not going to be a play on him at third.
It's going to bring up Nick Swisher. That is only the 2nd Yankees hit. In fact, both teams have just 2 hits. The Tigers got a run in the bottom of the 3rd to go ahead on the sac fly by Polanco, but the Yankees trying to come right back here.
The Tigers squandered a golden opportunity in the 3rd. Bases loaded with Big Cabrera standing up.
Here goes the runner to 2nd, and it's down low and no throw. A stolen base standing up for Posada. That'll take him out of the double play. Swisher is in the 3rd year of a 5-year deal that he originally signed with the Oakland Athletics. Played with the White Sox in the middle of that deal, and now, of course, with the Yankees.
They gave him a stolen base for that?
I believe they did. Laird had the option of throwing down, but did not, so he made a nice stop there.
Outstanding block, and able to find it rather quickly.
Here comes Rick Knapp now.
Well, the only reason why I asked about that stolen base is because Cabrera was playing behind Posada.
Well, I think that that's your prerogative to play behind him and your prerogative to throw down. He's running. He's going to get the stolen base. And it's only his 17th career steal. Porcello getting a talking to now from Rick Knapp.
So when do they use the rule of indifference then?
Well, usually when it's a blowout game late and guys aren't even going to bother to throw down. It all, I guess, comes down to situation. 9th inning, say it's 10-1. And the guy, they're just going to let him run. They don't hold a runner on because they have a big lead and let him run. Swisher waiting on a 2-0. Danger time here. And he missed. 3 balls, no strikes.
Don't know for sure, but do not just lay a fastball down the middle. And Swisher may be one of those guys that likes to swing 3 balls and no strikes.
He is. 3-1.
The one thing about swinging at 3-0, you've got to keep yourself under control, because so many times when you get yourself in that situation, and I'm speaking from experience, you don't just try to hit a base hit, you try to hit a home run. And usually when you try to hit home runs, guess what?
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Those last 2 swings look like home run swings. 3-2. It's been a nice start for Swisher. 15 RBIs. He's been on base in 19 of 20.
He had a rough year last year in the White Sox uniform.
And the 3-2. High, towering fly ball left field. Anderson going back to the wall. It's gone. He lifted one out of the strike zone and hit it over the wall and left. He went upstairs to get that thing. Swisher wasn't going to take ball 4.
It appeared that it was a 3-2 changeup that did not get down. It was up, and Swisher crushed it. And when you throw that changeup, you've got to get it down. And that's one of the reasons why Swisher was also able to catch up with it and hit it that far. If that's a fastball 92-93, he swings right through it.
Just like that, it's 3-1 Yankees. Swisher goes the other way for his 6th home run of this season. It's 18 RBIs now for the Yankees outfielder. Melky Cabrera, the batter. Fouled back out of play. We're talking about Swisher's struggles last year. He hit just .219 in Chicago. Definite off year, although his power numbers were okay.
Well, it was good to see him performing again. Not against the Tigers, but Swisher's one of those guys that you root for. He's good for baseball.
Line to left. There's a base hit. Cabrera goes the other way. Porcello trying to reel it in here in the 4th inning. Gene Lamont getting on the telephone.
A lot of left-handers, as you mentioned earlier, that the Yankees are running up there against Porcello, and he really has not thrown a lot of fastballs inside. He's got good natural movement away from the left-handers with his 2-seam fastball, but every now and then you have to knock some of these left-handers off the plate with a good 4-seam fastball just to keep them honest.
Here's Ramiro Pena. Porcello now in 21 1/3 innings has allowed 6 home runs.
And now by falling behind Pena, the way that Girardi's been managing in this series, and we could see some activity with Cabrera and Pena via the hit and run.
Meanwhile, there is action in the Detroit bullpen. It is lefty Clay Rapata, who was called up yesterday from Toledo, with Jeff Larish going down, giving the Tigers another left-handed arm. One ball, one strike. Pena flied out to left field back in the 2nd. This whole thing started off with a leadoff walk to Hideki Matsui, and it culminated with a 3-run homer by Swisher. Here's a line drive to right. That'll drop in a base hit. Cabrera thought about going to 3rd, thought better of it. It's 4 straight hits. And Lamont back on the phone. Some reinforcements heading to the bullpen. So the Yankees all of a sudden have 5 hits on the scoreboard. And here's the top of the order, Derek Jeter.
Porcello's already thrown 30 pitches in this inning alone. In the first 3 innings, he threw just 42 pitches. They're making him work.
There's a ground ball to short, might get him out of the inning. Tough hop for Santiago. There's one, and safe at first base. Jeter beat it out.
What a tough play by Santiago. That was tough. He came in to try to get a good hop, and the ball kind of short hopping, but he was able to still make a play to get the one out. But Jeter runs too well. You're not going to turn it over.
Close play, good call by Brian Knight. 2 outs, runners at first and third, and Porcello trying to keep this game manageable here. It's only a 2-run spread. Here's Johnny Damon. He pulls one down the right field line. This is trouble, and that ball is off the wall. 1 run will score. That's Cabrera. Jeter will go to third. It's a double and an RBI for Damon. And it's 4-1. And that'll do it. Here comes Jim Leyland. Damon gets his second hit of the night. The Yankees now have 6 hits. And Porcello was very good through 3, but he'll be taken out of the game here in the 4th. Wallside windows pitching change. Tigers go to the pen, and we'll be back.
Well, the youngster Porcello really didn't have his good stuff today and really couldn't get the ball down in the strike zone. Take a look at this inning alone, the pitches that were up in the strike zone. This is the biggest one, a changeup at the top of the strike zone, but all the other ones, belt buckle or higher. And when you work that way against the Yankees, you're not going to succeed. They're right down the heart of the plate, and they're right around the belt buckle. Even if you've got some good movement on your pitches, it's going to be an early exit for you, and it was that tonight for the youngster.
Still responsible for the runners at second and third, 3 2/3 tonight for Porcello, and he will give way to Clay Rapata. And his numbers at AAA Toledo this year.
Still lots of baseball to be played here tonight.
Switch hitting Mark Teixeira looks at a ball outside.
It appears that they're pitching to Teixeira, but I don't think they really are. And with a base open, 2 outs, and a couple of runners out there, and a left-hander in the batter's box, although Hideki hits left-handers well.
This is the second time in the series the Yankees have batted around. Of course, they hit around in that 10-run 7.
And now they're just going to walk him intentionally.
They'll do it again here in the 4th inning as Teixeira will get the intentional walk.
Surprised Teixeira has not gotten more intentional base on balls this year, but he's really not swinging the bat all that well.
And there's ball 4. So that's going to bring up Matsui, who started the inning with a base on ball.
The Yankees hit around in that 7th inning last night as well.
The Tigers have been out hit 6-2 in this game. Matsui with 5 grand slams in his career, and this is the first time this season he's batting with the bases loaded. And Rapata sails one outside, 1-0.
And Rapata was called up yesterday. Jim Leland said one of the reasons that he brought him up is that he didn't want to overuse Bobby C., who has been really good out of the Tigers bullpen. Another left-hander. Jeff Larish went down to AAA. I guess the Tigers are going to see 3 left-handers in that Indian series as well, which means that Larish wasn't going to get a whole lot of playing time anyway.
He needs to swing the bat, too. I mean, he's a good hitter, and he needed to find some AB, so he'll do it down in AAA. Yeah, they're going to face Laffey and Lee in the last 2 games in that series. Hit well to left field. Backing up is Anderson to the wall. Leaps, can't get it. This might get 3 runs in. Here comes the relay to the plate. The throw is not in time. Dropped by Laird, and Matsui will go to third as he clears the bases. Jeter, Damon, and Teixeira all score.
It was the absolute right call by Jim Leland not to pitch to Teixeira. With the base open and runners on second and third. Hideki Matsui really not phased by left-handers, and that's really just another pitch that's kind of right down the middle that Anderson in left field could not get to after it was whistled over his head. Santiago had a chance at throwing Teixeira out at the plate, but he bounced it and Laird couldn't catch it. He would have been out by 5 feet had that ball been caught by Laird, or a better throw by Santiago.
Another ugly inning here for the Tigers. A 10-run 7th last night, a 7-run 4th tonight. That is a double and 3 RBIs for Matsui. He takes third on the throw home. And now 7 runs on 7 hits. 2 of those runs will be charged to the starter Porcello. The other one belongs to Rapata. So 6 of the 7 belong to Porcello. 0-2 on Robinson Cano. All of the runs earned, by the way, for Porcello. That ball almost carried out off the bat of Matsui to the opposite field. Well, when the Yankees had made it 3-1 on the home run by Swisher, we talked about keeping it manageable and with a lot of playing time left in this game, but they have ballooned that to a 7-1 lead. And Jeter beating out that ground ball that could have been a double play to end the inning turned out to be a huge play.
Yes, it did. Jeter was talking about that sink piece that Porcello was featuring today.
A little floater that's caught by Santiago to end the inning. So they send 10 men to the plate. Big inning for the Yankees. They lead 7-1. seasons of a 300 or better batting average.
Mantle, Bernie Williams, Jeter,
Gary, Ruth. No, Dickey and DiMaggio.
Yeah.
Babe Ruth had 13 of 300 or better. Not just a home run hitter.
He pitched too.
True. Well, some work to be done. Down by 6. We're in the bottom of the 4th, and Carlos Guillen will lead it off. And he takes strike 1 from Joba Chamberlain.
And more than likely, Chamberlain will start to attack the strike zone more than he did the first 3 innings of this game, with a 6-run spread now.
They had him on the ropes back in the 3rd, bases loaded, a run in, but he struck out Miguel Cabrera.
He walked 3 in that inning as well.
One ball, one strike on Carlos, who hit a ball hard to left field back in the 2nd, 0 for 1. Again, was saying before the game today that some days that Achilles feels good, and then just some days it doesn't feel that good. And it's been keeping him out of the lineup in terms of playing defense, but Leland hoping to get him back out there in left field on Friday when the Indians come to town. The 1-2. 2-2 now on Carlos Guillen. Laird and then Inge to follow. Two pitch. Joba Chamberlain didn't pitch until his senior year in high school. He actually did some catching in high school. Really had to work on his body in terms of his weight and getting a little bit better physically. Pitched JC ball before he went down to Nebraska and then eventually pitched in the College World Series. It's fouled back out of play.
Junior college is not a bad route to take. If you're not good enough to go to a D1 school or D2 school out of high school, don't be afraid to go to a good junior college and get yourself some playing time. Hone your skills. It's not all bad.
2-2 pitch. He went that time. Guillen is out of there.
Hey fans, this Saturday learn baseball from Tigers players and coaches during an on-field clinic at 1:30 prior to the 3:40 p.m. game against the Cleveland Indians. The first 10,000 fans receive a Tigers player calendar. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. That's great. You can learn from the coaches and the players on the field. And a free clinic, they say.
If it's free,
it's for me.
There's a ball outside to Gerald Laird.
And I'll take 3. My good buddy Chili Davis used to say that all the time.
Is that right?
Yes, he did. Charles Davis.
Big swing and a miss by Laird, who struck out back in the 2nd.
He played for these Yankees.
I got to know Chili in my Angels days. He is a guy that knows his music very well.
Yes,
also.
He does.
The 1-1 is inside, 2-1.
Chili went to Dorsey High School in Los Angeles, the same high school that Sparky Anderson went to.
Checked it, but he went around. Chili used to walk around wearing those T-shirts that said Chili Dog. And one day I asked him for one, and he said no. You got to be on the field to wear one of these, son. So I never got one. 2-2 pitch. Tipped it into the glove for strike 3, and Chamberlain now with 4 strikeouts.
Well, Joba feeling pretty good about himself now, partner, with a 6-run spread.
Well, just coming after him right now. And here is Inge. He walked him back in the 3rd. Brandon scored the only run for the Tigers so far.
Throwing fastballs right down the middle. But that's what you need to do when you get a big lead. Joba Chamberlain, for the most part, is just a two-pitch pitcher as well. Hard stuff. Fastball, slider, very few changeups.
Right on the outer edge, strike two. Well, 9 of his 10 walks coming into tonight's action came in his last 2 starts. He faced Boston and Cleveland. The 1-2, inside and high.
Joba's out there doing a lot of shaking, but it's by design.
Driven to right field. Swisher is there, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Chamberlain. 4 in the books here at Comerica. 7-1 Yankees. Sports Detroit is brought to you by your Chrysler and Jeep Superstores. By Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends. Please enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. And by Wellside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Back here at Comerica Park in a 7-1 ball game as we go to the 5th inning. You are looking at that correctly. A 7-run fourth. Another big inning for the Yankees in this series, and they have taken command of this one, but plenty of time left in this game. If the Tigers bask and come alive. So far, Joba Chamberlain has handcuffed them for the most part. Play Rapata back to the hill. Rapata to Posada. Pitch is a strike, 0-1. .290 average on the season for Posada. Singled, stole a base, and scored back in the 4th. And he chops one to second base. Polanco ranging right. Steady Eddie out there.
Every day.
How else can you go through an entire season without committing a single error as he did a couple of years ago? Big year for Polanco. Contract is up. And so far, so good for him.
He'll get him a nice deal somewhere. Hopefully it's with the Tigers.
Here's Nick Swisher.
He's fun to watch play.
Swisher had the big blow back in the 4th. Well, one of them at least. A 3-run shot of Porcello. He hit it to the opposite field. And he pulls this one to left field. Has he hit another? He sure has. A 2-homer game for Nick Swisher.
Swisher, quit it. Stop it.
4 RBIs for Swisher. That is his 7th home run. Boy, is he having a night.
And to think, they thought he was going to be the odd man out after acquiring Swisher as a free agent. He has been one of their better performers. That's a fastball right around the belt buckle, and he just leaned on it. Sounded loud.
It'll bring up Melky Cabrera. 8-1 now. 8 runs on 8 hits for the Yankees. They've hit 2 home run balls and a bases clearing double in this game.
Swisher is going to be really good for this Yankees team.
Back up the middle. Polanco again to his right.
The Yankees go about their business, and Jim Leland said as much earlier, just in a professional manner. And they play the game the right way. And it appears that at times they're not having fun, but with Swisher in that dugout, in that clubhouse, they're going to have some fun.
He will loosen it up. Joe Girardi watching his team break out of it here the last 2 nights.
Well, the Tigers can still come back in this game. We've watched the Yankees score a boatload of runs the last couple of nights here. No reason why the Tigers offense can't wake up and chip away as well.
Ramiro Pena. One ball, one strike on Pena.
Tigers have been outscored 19-1 last 2 games. And the scoring didn't start for the Yankees until the 7th inning yesterday. So really you're talking about the last 7 innings. 19 runs. Tigers pitching is given up.
Well, Swisher with a big night tonight. His 12th career 2-homer game. He is also the 10th player in team history to homer from both sides of the plate in a ball game.
Just the 10th.
Man, they got a long history. 2-2.
Mantle was a switch hitter. Bernie Williams was a switch hitter. Chili Davis has probably done it. That's about it for me.
Is that as deep as you go?
Yeah, that's about it.
3-2. Seven in the 4th and 1 here in the 5th. After the Tigers had taken a 1-0 lead. Here is Rapata's 3-2 pitch. Lost him. Walked the number 9 hitter, Pena, who is aboard for the 2nd time tonight. More action in the Tigers' pen. That is Joel Zumaya. Derek Jeter, the batter. Again, his ground ball looked like it might be a double play to end that 4th inning, but he beat it out.
Jeter's 4th at bat already, just the 5th inning.
Ooh, that was close.
It's a nice move there by Rapata. Almost like a slide step move to first base. Didn't pick his foot up very far. A lot of times if you don't pick your foot up that far, the base runner will think that you're going to go home. That's why it was so close at first.
The 0-1 pitch. Another throw. Close again. Pena just getting back. 2-1. I haven't looked this stat up, but I would imagine that the Yankees and the Red Sox are probably the two teams that see the most pitches every game. And they are just so adept at prolonging at bats, as they did last night. And now Jeter has run the count to 3-1.
One, they have talent. Two, that's what they preach in their organizations. And their hitters buy into it. And they do not chase a lot of bad pitches. They wait until they get something good to hit. And they whack it.
Fouled away. 3-2 on Jeter. 2,560 hits in his career.
A couple of years ago, there were some people that believed if there was anyone that was going to catch Peter Edward Rose in hits, it would be Jeter. That's a lot of hits, though. 4,200.
Yeah, that's a boatload. Runner going, and it's grounded left side. Inge with a tough hop. Jeter's out. So are the Yankees. They get another run. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Like the perfect holiday for Mexico's favorite beer, relax responsibly. Brandon Inge scoring the only Tigers run in this game, and the Yankees leading the Tigers 8-1. Joba Chamberlain back to the hill, facing Josh Anderson, Ramon Santiago, and Curtis Granderson in the fifth. Anderson had a base hit back in the third, setting up a potential big inning for the Tigers, but they only plated one in that frame. And only two Tigers hits tonight. Anderson's single.
Well, Tigers need to get ready to hit. And it started last inning with Chamberlain after his club scored 7 runs in the fourth. He started attacking the strike zone with fastballs. The first 3 innings of the game, he was not around the strike zone very often.
Here's the 1-2.
He's rolling now.
5 strikeouts now for Chamberlain. Hey, by the way, vote for the player of the game tonight using your cell phone. Text Tigers followed by a space and then the player's uniform number to 74499. See the final results post game during Tigers Live. Select your Tigers player of the game. Text it to us. Standard text rates apply, by the way. Here's Ramon Santiago. Strike one to the outside corner. Ramon sacrificed back in the third. The hook drops in for a strike. 1-2.
Joba wasting very little time on that mound.
Got him.
He is grabbing it from Posada. He is getting right back on top of that rubber. And he has gotten into a really nice rhythm, pitching with a lot of confidence. His breaking ball just drops off the table.
Here's Granderson with 2 outs. Grandy on board via the walk back in the third. That set up the sac fly by Polanco to get the Tigers a run. The 2-0. 2-1. In the air, left field. Johnny Damon under it. It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Joba Chamberlain. He's in cruise control mode right now. 8-1 Yanks at the end of 5.
Cabrera with some very good glove work. He makes a diving play to take a base hit away here. Also makes another outstanding play, then leading Porcello to the bag to get the force out. And also, in the second inning, cuts in front of Polanco. Momentum carrying him towards second base to get the force out. There off the bat of Melky Cabrera, throwing out Posada.
Joel Zamaya is the new Tigers pitcher now. He comes out of the pen throwing 99 miles an hour as we start the 6th inning. 8-1 Yankees lead it. Zamaya pitched against the Royals on Saturday. And he Deals a strike on the outer edge. 1-1.
The one thing we will see this year from Zumaya is you'll see a few more breaking balls, and you also will see him incorporate his changeup. And that will make that 98, 99 mile per hour fastball even tougher to hit.
Well, for the first time really since his rookie campaign in 06, Zumaya feels that he's 100%. There were times in the past where he tried to convince himself after injuries that he was healthy, but really wasn't. And they took their time with him and getting him back out of spring training. All the way.
You brought it up last half inning. That's what the Yankees do a very nice job of. Even though Zumaya is throwing 99 miles an hour. And that was a really good pitch to Damon. Somehow he was able to get some kind of bat on the ball.
Breaking ball, frozen. Strike 3.
But nothing you can do with that. If a guy's going to throw you a 99 mile per hour fastball and then come back with this breaking ball off the outside corner on the black, you just got to tip your hat and stroll on back to the dugout.
And that's the one pitch that was a little bit erratic against Kansas City in his first start. He wasn't able to throw that for strikes or near the strike zone. But that last one looked really good. Fouled back out of play by Teixeira.
Zumaya is throwing an easy 99 miles an hour. When Zumaya first came to the big leagues, his delivery was a little violent. But he smoothed it out a little bit. Not as violent as he was in 06 and 07. And I think that's a credit to Rick Knapp, who has done wonders with kind of straightening Rodney out a little bit, smoothing him out a little bit, keeping their heads still.
That's in the air to center. Granderson started back, but that's out number 2.
What was Comcast telling us about Zumaya? 99 a high net breaking ball for the strikeout of 82. I think one of the reasons why we're seeing some of the Tigers pitchers with smoother windups and deliveries is Rick Knapp used a mirror in the bullpen in spring training, where he would set a mirror in front of the guys while they were on the mound down in Lakeland. Of course, they weren't throwing a ball at the time. They would have a towel in their hand and they would simulate their windup, but just by having that mirror in front of them allowed guys to kind of see exactly where they were stamping, what they were doing, what their head was doing, and he's really smoothed some guys out.
The 0-1 pitch. Popped him up. It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Zumaya. Looking good. Yankees go in order. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. here in this series finale. Don't forget the Tigers offer the best value in sports with $5 tickets, $5 parking, $5 kids and adult meals. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com and take advantage of one of these outstanding deals. Joba Chamberlain back to work. Polanco lays down a bunt. Too sharply, though, right back to the mound. One pitch, one away.
Well, in between innings, Verlander and Zumaya are giving each other a little man love.
Shades of 06.
Yeah, I don't know what Verlander said to Zoom, but Zumaya had a huge smile on his face.
Ordonez the batter.
That was a nice inning by Zumaya.
It's good to see. He's got to be feeling good about that. There's a bouncing ball to second for Cano. Maglio is out of there, 2 gone. And you got to believe that Zumaya feels pretty good about that inning, considering he struck out only 1. It's not like he was blowing everybody away. He used all of his pitches and had a snappy 1-2-3 inning. Meanwhile, that is 9 straight retired by Chamberlain after his teammates got him a bunch of runs. Here's Cabrera.
Last time Cabrera was up, Joba Chamberlain was on the ropes. 3rd inning, bases loaded. Struck Cabby out with an outstanding breaking ball.
Cano with a nice play. And that is that for the Tigers. A quick 1-2-3 inning. 6 in the books. Cano, Posada, Swisher coming up. Top 7 here at Comerica Park. Tigers down big tonight, 8-1. And the Yankees in the 7th inning send up Robinson Cano to lead it off. He swings on the first pitch, lines it toward left field. That ball is down up against the wall. And holding at first base is Cano. He must have done something rounding first. Otherwise, he should be on second.
He's hurt. He's watching the ball. Twisted his left ankle. But he tells his manager he's okay. Cost himself a double, though, by watching the baseball. Robinson Cano, for the most part, always hustles. And, I mean, you knew the ball wasn't going to go out of the ballpark,
no.
So why wouldn't you just put your head down and run and get a double?
Well, it did cost him. That is their 9th hit. And Posada pops it up. Let's see if there's room for Brandon. Looks like there is. One gone.
Let's take a look at our Coors Light freeze cam, courtesy of Nick Swisher, who's coming to the dish. Played long ball a couple of times today. 3-run shot off Porcello. Breaking ball at the top of the strike zone to left field, ripped. Next time up from the right side, he got Rapada. Outstanding evening so far for Nick Swisher. Coors Light freeze cam is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
So Swisher with a cool 4 RBI night. He's got 19 now driven in. Zamaya missing low. Wind is starting to pick up. Joel had an easy 1-2-3 sixth. In Zamaya's rookie year of 2006, he struck out 97 in just 83 innings of work, and his ERA was 1.94. As a rookie, he made 62 appearances. It was quite a season in his first year. That's low. 3 balls, no strikes.
I don't remember what the numbers were, but somebody was keeping a stat of how many pitches he threw 100 miles an hour or more. And it was just an incredible number.
Well, I don't think anybody really knew, coming off this round of injuries, if Zamaya would have that arm strength back, but apparently he has. I mean, he's been upper 90s. And Rick Knapp knows that he has another weapon down there at the back end of the bullpen. 3-1 pitch. In the shallow center field, the second baseman Polanco. And they get Swisher this time. 2 gone. We were talking about the Yankees that have hit home runs from both sides of the plate in a game. Mickey Mantle did it 10 times. You got him. You got Bernie Williams. He did it 7 times. How about Posada? He's done it 7 times.
Has he?
Yeah, that's kind of surprising. Roy White's on that list. Tom Tresh. 1-0 on Melky Cabrera.
Tony Clark, also the former Tiger, on that list.
Ruben Sierra. Foul back out of play. No chili dog, though.
No.
Nope. 37 times by 10 different players, and Swisher became the latest tonight. Here's the 1-1.
That breaking ball can be a real good weapon for Zamaya. It's got a nice tight spin to it. And after seeing a fastball at 98, 99 miles an hour, a lot of guys aren't going to put that ball in play. Zamaya throwing lots of strikes, too. He's thrown 21 total pitches. 15 have hit the strike zone.
That's encouraging. That's flared out toward left. Anderson to retire the side. Nothing doing for the Yanks. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. lead in this one. Here's an invitation to visit the official online shop of the Detroit Tigers at Tigers.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic Tigers gear, including clubhouse caps and T-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, a whole lot more. Get your Tigers gear from the source, the Tigers.com shop.
I'm Tigers gear with hoods on it today.
Yeah. And some blankets, too.
A little nippy out there.
It was 51 at game time.
All in all, though, it's been a real good April weather-wise.
No complaints here. Right back up the middle. Is it going to get through? Yep. Right past Chamberlain, who had retired 10 straight Tigers, but Guillen has a single. And the Tigers now have 3 hits. Cabrera, Guillen, and Anderson all have singles.
That's pretty cool. I wonder if they got those at the Tigers.com shop.
Little tiger claws or the headband?
The ear warmers.
Here's Laird.
Joba's only thrown 79 pitches. Boy, has he gotten it together. Didn't look like he was going to be around very long.
Especially in that 3rd inning when the Tigers loaded the bases against him.
Even the first 2 innings, he wasn't throwing a whole lot of strikes.
He was trying to bunt, and that pitch hit him, and down goes Laird. Oh, my goodness. That got him on the hand, and the Tigers don't need this. Here comes Kevin Rand, the head athletic trainer. In an 8-1 game here in the 7th inning, Laird is hit on the hand by Joba Chamberlain. Or was it the wrist?
He's in a lot of pain. Squared around the bunt, nowhere to go. Oh, he might be okay. I know it hurts right now, but I think he's going to be okay. Looked like they got him in the forearm.
Yeah.
Elbow area. He's probably lost his feeling in his fingertips momentarily, but he's going to be okay. I've been hit there a few times. It doesn't feel good, though. Initially, I thought it was a wrist.
That's a much different story. So 2 men on.
Have a nice bruise tomorrow.
Brandon Inge, the batter. Walked and scored his first time up. Yankees have not needed anybody warming up. Of course, their bullpen has been hit pretty good this year.
They'll start to get some stirring down there now.
Chamberlain's 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. With his walk tonight, Inge has been on base in 21 straight to start the year. Two-goal fastball to make it 2-1. Chamberlain's still only 23 years old. He won't be 24 until late September. So you had a 23-year-old facing a 20-year-old tonight. That's driven to the gap in right center field and caught by Swisher. He hit that ball hard. It looked like it was going to shoot the gap, and Swisher ran it down.
Nick is a very versatile player. He can play all 3 outfield spots, and he also plays a nice first base. He got a great jump on this ball, and that's one of the reasons why he was able to run it down in the gap. When you have first quick steps like he had, you make plays like that. He's having some kind of night.
if you're in, all you can do is hit it hard. Strike one on Josh Anderson. Anderson is from a little town in Kentucky, Eubank, Kentucky. About 400 people. That's it. From a small town. The 0-1. Lifted toward left. Johnny Damon is there. And the runners will have to retreat.
They'll be naming streets after Anderson.
They might.
Probably hasn't been a whole lot of big leaguers to come out of Eubank, you said?
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm guessing you're looking at the only one right there.
Get a key to the city and everything.
2 outs for Santiago. And he pops it up. Left side of the infield. Pena, the third baseman. Promising start, but the rally fizzles. Tigers leave a pair. We go to the 8th.
Friday when the Cleveland Indians come to town to start a weekend series. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Tigers Live, followed by the game at 7 o'clock. It's Tigers Baseball presented by Bell Tire, Friday night on Fox Sports Detroit.
And it's going to be Pavano and Galarraga in that game.
And well, you never know, but the numbers aren't pretty there for Pavano, so advantage Tigers.
Well, now you can follow Fox Sports Detroit on Twitter and become our fan on Facebook. It's easy and it's free. Simply search Fox Sports Detroit on either site. Become part of our social network community. That's Fox Sports Detroit, available on Twitter and Facebook. Well, earlier tonight, Detroit Sports Broadcasters Association giving Mr. Galarraga his Rookie of the Year award from the Tigers last year.
Congratulations, Armando. He keeps pitching like he's pitching this year. He might get some other hardware. Look at Angie.
Well, here we go. Another hard-throwing right-hander coming out of the pen for the Tigers. Ryan Perry is in now as we head to the 8th inning. 8-1 Yankees.
That's good to see Jim bring Perry back in the ball game tonight after he struggled with his control in last night's game. It's good to get the kid back out there and get last night's taste out of his mouth.
Pulled and caught at first base by Cabrera. 1 out. Cabby's been flying around tonight at first base.
A lot of left-handers in the Yankees batting order tonight, and a lot of them have been pulling the baseball. And Cabrera's been flashing some leather.
Here's Derek Jeter. No hits tonight. Did reach on a fielder's choice and score in the fourth. That was the big inning tonight for the Yankees. They scored 7 of them in the fourth inning. Ground ball to second. 2 gone. And now Johnny Damon. So Perry getting 2 very quick outs.
And Jim was talking about Perry after the game and the situation that he was in. Scoreless ball game in the 7th last night. And Leland said, we knew when we brought him north there were going to be some growing pains. He was going to have an inning or 2 where he just didn't command his stuff, but they're committed to him.
Well, that's a good thing. I mean, he's certainly a young man that has a lot of talent, only 22 years old. But if you have him, you might as well use him, and they have used him in some tight spots, and certainly last night was a tight spot. 2-0 pitch.
Surely the back end of their bullpen with the power of Zamaya and Perry and Rodney are as good as any in baseball, but they have to be effective. They have to get the outs, and people will be talking about them a lot all season long.
Three balls, 1 strike on Johnny Damon. Doubled in a run in the fourth. And he lost him. Ball 4. 2-out walk. It's going to give Teixeira another at bat.
Teixeira better turn it up a notch, because if he doesn't, once he gets back to Yankee Stadium, they're going to start booing him. You know how them Yankee fans can be.
Very little patience. But you know what? A guy like this at the end of the season is going to have his numbers.
And that's what the back of his bubblegum tells us. Bubblegum card tells us for sure.
Tino Martinez took over there at first base for Don Mattingly. He got off to such a slow start, and they let him know about it. And he ended up having a very good career with the Yankees. Teixeira is locked up with an 8-year deal that he signed in January. Perry missed again. Way outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. A couple of quick outs, then a walk, and now 3-1 on Teixeira.
Well, throw it right down the middle, Ryan, and see how far Teixeira can hit it.
Do it again. 3-2. Teixeira walked intentionally and scored in the fourth. A couple of Gold Gloves, a couple of Silver Slugger awards for Teixeira. Runner going on 3-2, and he lost in ball 4. So 2 on now, and back-to-back walks given up by Perry. That was the one concern with Ryan in terms of whether or not he needed more time down in the minor leagues to iron out some control issues. He did walk some last year.
His control was pretty good in spring training, though. And I guess that's one of the reasons why they decided to put him on the 25-man roster. That and the fact that he was head and shoulders above any of the other pitchers that were vying for one of the bullpen spots as well.
Here comes another left-handed batter, Hideki Matsui. Ball 1.
The last thing that Leland wants to do is to have to go to the mound and take Perry out of the game. He would prefer he get out of this jam.
Here's a strike right at the knees,
which would put a better taste in Perry's mouth with the day off tomorrow, going into that weekend series against the Indians.
There's more action in the Tigers bullpen now. Perry followed Zamaya, who threw 2 scoreless innings. Joel looked good, gave up just 1 hit. Struck out 1. The 2-1 pitch. 3-1. Damon and Teixeira, the base runners. The 3-1 pitch. 3-2 on Matsui. 9 hits tonight for the Yankees. And Matsui had one of the big ones in that 7-run fourth. He cleared the bases with a double. Runners going on 3-2, and he lost him. Ball 4. 3 straight walks for Perry after retiring the first 2 batters. And Leland now, along with Rick Knapp, getting a little bit antsy. Rincon has been warming up.
He's going to let him get out of this jam, but he's going to send Rick Knapp out to try to settle him down.
As they talk about that, we'll tell you about this. Some of the value offers here at Comerica Park. There are a ton of new offers this season here at the ballpark. 20% discount on select Tigers jackets this homestand. Talk about the $5 single game tickets, all home games. Got some value meals for the kids and the adults. And parking, which is always an issue in terms of how much it costs. $5 parking lots.
That's a good price for parking.
Sure is.
Tigers trying to make it affordable for families to come down to Comerica Park and experience this great atmosphere.
Well, Perry now has walked the bases loaded, and he misses to Cano. 1-0. The Yankees got 7 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th.
I like what Laird is doing, though. He's setting up right down the middle. Now, even though a lot of the fastballs that Perry has thrown this inning to the left-handed hitters have tailed outside for balls, Laird continues to set up right down Broadway. Or should I say right down Woodward.
Ground ball foul. Almost hit Damon down the line. 1-2. Cleveland Indians coming to town next. Off day for the ball club tomorrow. Indians at last check were leading Boston again tonight after beating them last night. That is a foul ball. Cleveland, then Minnesota comes in for a couple, then it's back on the road again. Did you get your dry cleaning done?
Yes, I did get my dry cleaning done. Haven't picked it up yet, but it's there. And it's done.
Because you're going to use it up again on the next road trip.
Yes, indeed.
Here's the 1-2.
Well, here's the next couple of weeks of the Tigers' schedule. Playing within the division against Cleveland, Minnesota, White Sox sprinkled in. Another long road trip coming up.
The all-important division games before the West comes to town in the next homestand. There's another foul back out of there. Boy, is Cano just a tough guy to put away. At least has been in this series. He was able to extend his hitting streak in his last at bat. He's hit safely now in 16 straight, which is just too shy of his career high.
Well, he's swinging the bat here in April like he wants to win a batting title. There are a lot of people that have thought for a couple of years that he had the talent and the ability to win a batting title with his sweet swing from the left side.
Just missed. 2-2. He had such a terrible April last year, but turned things around this year and has really put together the type of start that I guess you need if you want to have a chance at winning a batting title. That's on the ground to the shortstop.
Wow.
Santiago stayed with a wicked high. They'll leave him loaded. Perry finally pitches out of it. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, standing the test of time since 1849, and by Beaumont Hospitals. Do you have a Beaumont doctor? Back here at Comerica Park, downtown Detroit, the site on a chilly evening for baseball. Our Comerica game summary features Nick Swisher tonight, who hit his 12th career multi-homer game. The Yankees' 4th inning was the biggest, a 7-run frame, and good news tonight in Zamaya, 2 very strong innings, allowing just 1 hit. And had 1 strikeout.
And threw lots of strikes. Much better feel for his breaking ball than he did in Kansas City.
Phil Koch is the new pitcher.
In the 10th game now that Koch has been in. Logging 7 2/3 innings.
Chamberlain done for the night.
He's kind of got the same kind of wind up as Pettit. Very high leg pitch.
Granderson with a walk. He's 0 for 2.
Got a firm fastball, too, from the left side. Old-fashioned wind-up. Takes his hands over his head. High leg kick. Good fastball for a left-hander.
Hammered to right field and caught on a dive by Swisher.
That boy came to play today.
Didn't he, though?
I mean, he came to play. That ball was absolutely scorched off the bat of Granderson. He comes in diving, and they're up by 7.
One out. Placido Polanco getting ready to step in. And Polanco had to step out of the box. The lights are on here. The flashing lights here at the ballpark. There are the flashing lights. I don't know if that signals a fire alarm. And the fans here at Comerica Park are leaving their seats now.
That's what they're being told to do by the, I believe, recording as telling them as much.
So Brian Runge, the home plate umpire, coming over to the Tigers dugout now to find out what's going on.
Maybe we should be scooting too.
The Yankees are kind of milling on the field, not sure whether or not to leave. I'm going to try and sort this out, but half the fans don't know whether or not to leave or to hang around here.
There are some people that are looking up at us and saying, well, if Mario and Rod are still hanging out, then I guess we're cool too.
I'm sticking around.
John Keating's still here too, so we're all right.
Let's see, a home plate umpire Brian Runge now apparently is telling the Yankees to get back on the field. So,
well, the lights have gone off; they're not flashing anymore.
Apparently, no problem here at the ballpark.
Just like back in elementary school, fire drill.
Get under the desk.
Remember those days?
Yeah, I do, man. Single file, everybody out of the room. Out to the front door. It was a false alarm. There is no emergency, we are told. That's what the scoreboard says. There you go, false alarm. So everybody back in their seats. Now Polanco digging in with one out here in the 8th. Placido tonight. Sacrifice fly in the 3rd. The 0-1 pitch. On the ground to 3rd. Pena knocks it down.
Pena has played a nice third base in this series. Shortstop by trade. Good defender at shortstop. But he's made all the plays at third base, as a matter of fact.
Well, he was one of the top defenders in the Eastern League. He won a championship with their AA team in the Eastern League last year. Maglio rips one foul back out of play. Tigers have been limited to just 3 singles tonight. Cabrera has one. It's Anderson and Guillen.
This kid Cope's got a pretty good arm.
0-2. Fouled away. He made his big league debut last year with the Yankees. Appeared in just 12 games. 26th round pick a few years ago in the 0-2 draft. The 0-2 pitch. Pulled foul. 0-2 on Maglio Ordonez. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Yankees trying to win 2 out of 3 here before they skip town. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And a 1-2-3 inning for Coke. We didn't realize that was 3 outs. Posada, Swisher, and Cabrera coming up.
Well, let's take a look at Joba Chamberlain. He had a real good night tonight. He started out not necessarily throwing a whole lot of strikes, but he really settled in after he got quite a few runs scored for him in the 4th inning by his ball club. And he just started dealing, pounding the strike zone with fastballs. He had a good breaking ball, very few changeups. And this was probably his biggest breaking ball of the night. It was with the bases loaded. Looked like the Tigers are going to get to him, and he got one of your more dangerous hitters in all of baseball in Miguel Cabrera. That was our Lincoln Mercury Exmo replay.
Struck out 6, walked 3 through 88 pitches tonight. Scattering just 3 hits.
A couple of really good pitch ball games by some young pitchers in the Yankees organization the last couple of days. Phil Hughes yesterday, Joba Chamberlain tonight.
Juan Rincon, the new Tigers pitcher, facing Jorge Posada.
And everybody I talked to about Joba today, I'm trying to get as much information as possible. They just didn't know which Joba was going to show up. They didn't know if he was going to walk people. They didn't know if he was going to attack the strike zone. They didn't know if he was going to show emotion. But he did a very good job today against a good Tigers lineup.
Well, he's supremely talented, but he's still only 23 years old, so you would expect some inconsistencies along the way. That's it to the second baseman for an out, 1 gone. But he looked good tonight.
That he did.
Here's that Swisher guy again. 3-run homer in the 4th, solo homer in the 5th. Breaking ball is in for a strike, 0-1. Yankees have a 4-game series coming up with the Angels, while the Tigers will, after an off day tomorrow, welcome in the Cleveland Indians. The Yanks with a win tonight, back over the 500 mark. They came in at 10-10. The 1-1 in the air, shallow left. Anderson coming on. 2 gone. It's going to bring in Melky Cabrera now with 2 outs. Cabrera had a single and scored a run in that big 7-run 4th inning. He slices one to short, caught by Santiago, who rolls and hangs on. 1-2-3 inning for Rincon. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Game 2 Sunday at 2 p.m. The 2009 Stanley Cup playoffs. The beard is back. Oh, now look at this. See, they set us up. Dude, you look like Mr. T on that.
Well, all I need is my Mrs. T starter kit. I'll be all right. I can't grow a beard, but I mean, I don't look bad with one.
No, that was pretty good.
I kind of like it.
I think so.
I wish I could. I'll be 50 this year, but I can't grow a beard. That's a shame, isn't it?
It is. I didn't like mine. I didn't like that at all.
You didn't like it?
No, that was bad. It was fun, though. You know, the Red Wings, of course, going into round 2 of the playoffs, so we're growing the beards. We're kind of getting into the theme of it here. But in this ball game, kind of like the same as last night, big inning, and that is the downfall for the Tigers.
You know, it seems like ever since that ball to left field last night, that Anderson admitted that he kind of misplayed. You know, he did exactly what we thought he did on that play, where he was trying to get himself in position to make a good throw home because he felt like Swisher was going to tag him from third base. Since that play, the Yankees have just scored a bunch of runs.
Yeah, they have rolled.
And obviously he's not doing the pitching. But it just seems like one event like that can turn the tables, because the Yankees were dead before that. They had just gotten swept in Boston, and they just weren't performing all that well against Tigers.
Miguel Cabrera is leading things off here in the 9th inning. It'll be Cabrera, then Guillen, and then Laird. And there's a leadoff walk. Jonathan Albaladejo. Okay, that's the only time I'm going to pronounce that name.
Get him a nickname real quick.
John.
Or Dejo. Figure out something. It's a tongue twister.
I like Dejo better. Here's Carlos Guillen. Tigers only 3 hits tonight. And Carlos has one of those. It was a single back in the 7th.
That's the one thing Jim talked about as well in his post-game comments on Tigers Live with John Keating was doing the reporting last night. And he said we could talk all we want to talk about the 10-run 7th inning and 11 runs we gave up. But the fact of the matter is we only had 4 hits.
Right. And the consistency offensively has not been where he has wanted it, even though the Tigers came in a couple of games above 500 tonight.
Well, their big boys aren't going right now. Cabrera started out on fire this year and looked like he was going to win a Triple Crown. But the opposing pitchers quietly kind of shut him down by not really pitching to him. But Cabrera was so hot, he continued to try to get the fastballs that were inside. He continued to try to force the issue instead of taking his walk. And really, Maglio and Guillen haven't gotten going yet this year. So the bottom of their order has been good, but the middle of their order really hasn't been clicking on all cylinders yet.
Now, the big boys are going to have to drive in their runs, hit their home runs, and carry the offense.
I mean, Maglio's hitting 241 as we speak. Carlos 219. And we're talking about guys that hit 300. And Granderson at 233. So once they get the top of that batting order rolling, we're going to see a more consistent offense.
Stroke to the gap in left center field. That ball is down. It'll go to the wall. Cabrera coming to third. They're going to stop in there. It's a double for Guillen, who hobbles into second base.
I think I said it after Carlos's first time up today, when he hit an absolute seed to Johnny Damon in left field, and Damon made a nice play. Carlos has hit into some tough luck. In that Anaheim series, in that Kansas City series, he was squaring the baseball up pretty good, but he really wasn't getting a whole lot to show for it. And at that time, he gets rewarded with a double.
Well, he has squared it up 3 times in this game, including that ball that he hit back in the 2nd, that line drive to left field. And the Tigers now trying to put something together here in the 9th inning. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Dave Island, their pitching coach, has had his say. We'll bring up Gerald Laird. Looks like there's some activity going. Kind of. Mr. Rivera. Strike 1 to Laird.
Went to the Detroit economic luncheon today. And Jim Leland was talking. He was saying that if he could start him a ball club, he would start with the closer first. And then he brought up Mariano Rivera's name, and he said he feels like Mariano Rivera, the last 10 years, has been the best player in baseball for what he has done for the Yankees, not only in the postseason with all those saves, but also during the regular season.
Driven in the air to center field. Hit pretty good. Gardner is back. He'll get a run in. Cabrera will score. Guillen will go to third. Sac fly.
He feels like Mariano Rivera has been that valuable, not only to the Yankees, but to any manager fortunate enough to have a guy like that.
Did he say the best closer or best player?
No, he said best
overall
player. He
really?
said most valuable pitcher and player.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, there's no question about that. He's the only player in the major leagues that still wears number 42. And once he retires, there will be no active players wear 42. Of course, it's retired. That's Jackie Robinson's number. They're retired in all major league ballparks.
Brandon Inge, the batter.
Does that surprise you that he would say that?
Well, kind of. I mean, if he said the best closer, I definitely would agree with that. Best player overall, I don't know. It's hard to quantify that. I know he saved a ton of games, but, you know, to say he's the best player, for a player that comes in and basically pitches 1 inning. But boy, his success rate has been unbelievable. I don't know that it totally surprises me. I know that he loves Rivera, and he's always talked about how great he has been.
I thought about it for a moment when he said it, and then I said, you know what?
You agree?
I couldn't disagree with him.
2-1 pitch outside, 3 balls, 1 strike.
Mariano blew a save a couple of days ago in Boston, but I think he had 1 blown save all of last year. And he was kind of lost in the inconsistency of their ball club a season ago.
You're right. 39 saves and 40 chances last year. That's drilled down the left field line. It is a fair ball. A ground rule double for Brandon Inge. That'll score a run to make it 8-3. And the Tigers coming alive here in the 9th.
Tigers offense waking up a little bit.
Inge gets his 18th RBI.
If one more guy gets on, we will see Mariano Rivera. Brandon Inge got robbed the last time he was up. Swisher made a tremendous play in right field. This time, no one's going to catch this. He continues to just hit bullets all over the baseball field, foul line to foul line. That's why his batting average is over 300 right now.
Here's Josh Anderson. Tigers now have 5 hits. They've put up their biggest inning, a couple of runs here. Two balls, no strikes. Albaladejo has really struggled here in the 9th. He gave up the leadoff walk. And the double by Guillen. A couple of runs in now for Detroit. Fouled away. Anderson tonight 1 for 3 with a single. Rally cap's going, they believe. Boston has come back to tie up Cleveland 5-5 late in that game.
They played a wild game last night.
I think it was over 4 hours long for a 9-inning game. The 2-2. Got him, strike 3. Anderson doesn't like it. Not in the least as he shakes his head and walks out of the box. Two outs. It's going to bring up Santiago, the last Tigers chance tonight. Here's the 0-1. Hit the other way and through. Base hit. Inge rounding third. They're going to stop him. Santiago keeps it going. Runners at first and third. Going to turn things over now to the top of the order. And that's going to be it. Here comes Girardi. Well, he's going to want to go back to the bullpen. Pitching change. We'll be back. Well, Mariano Rivera's in now to face Curtis Granderson with 2 on. Santiago goes to second base with no throw, and there's a strike called on Granderson.
One of the greatest closers of all time has not given up an earned run here at Comerica Park.
Swinging a drive deep into right field, way back, and that ball is gone. Curtis Granderson, a 3-run shot off Mariano Rivera.
Now he has
and it's a 2-run game.
the cut fastball that kind of cuts right into the happy zone of Granderson, and boy did he lean on it. He back-legged this one. Nice hip turn, tremendous bat speed. That ball was crushed.
8-6. And the Tigers need a base runner here to bring the tying run to the plate.
No sooner did I say that Mariano has never given up a run here at Comerica Park. Granderson busted.
7th home run for Grandy. And Rivera misses now 2-0. Crowd that has remained here getting into it. There's a strike. Polanco taking. 377 feet on the Granderson home run. That has charged up the crowd. There's a strike. 2-2. Popped him up. Shallow right field and caught by Cano. So the Tigers make it interesting here in the 9th inning. The 3-run homer makes it 8-6. Don't go away after a short break. We'll have much more. Mickey York coming up. Tigers Live next.